enjoy this drink, and the meal is to come. The food has arrived. So while I go ahead and put a dent in this beer and take this food down, you guys go ahead and enjoy this next installment.
Two men pulled a blanket over his face. They left him lying there on the cold asphalt. It was nearing midnight. Driving traffic had been condensed to one lane and had slowed down to a crawl. The onlookers gathered as much information as they could as they drove by. Some noticed the blood on the street while others looked over at the still body under the white blanket. No sympathy in their eyes, just needing to see what they were shielded from. The cops did their best to block their view and hurry them along. They appeared to drive even slower. Death has a way of slowing life down. His cell phone buzzed next to him on the couch. The name Liz lit up on the blue screen. He didn't realize his hand was shaking until he held his phone in it. He tried to stop it by placing the other hand over it. He switched the phone from his right hand to his left and put his fingers over the answer button on the screen. "Liz, I don't know," he offered when she asked what went wrong. We were both standing there, and the next thing I know, he had my knife in his chest. "Damn it, Dex," she whispered loudly into the phone. "Let me think." Liz was a petite brunette, however, her small 4 feet, 10-inch, 95-pound frame was not to be confused with anything resembling a pushover. She was pretty and had curves in all of the right places, but preferred to suppress her beauty and showcase her brawn instead. "I'll call you back," she said, then hung up. Dex said bye to the dial tone. He wished he hadn't agreed to it. It was just supposed to be a quick exchange. He was to hand over the envelope and take a book bag in return. Just that easy. Nothing is ever that easy, he thought. He tried replaying the scene in his head to see if he could understand it. He remembered walking up the steps to the train station, walking the 2 blocks to the meeting place. The light had disappeared and the moon had begun to show its face. The streets were at their darkest. "Are you Daz?" he asked. He had a heavy accent, maybe Russian. "Yes," said Dex, not bothering to correct him. "You have the stuff?" the burly man asked. "Yeah, you?" Dex was nervous. He didn't like the look he was getting from the man in front of him. The man reached for something inside his jacket. Dex saw the shiny end of something made of metal. "Give it here, Dex," he said. He hadn't pulled his hand completely out when Dex shoved the business end of his blade into the man's chest. The man took 2 steps backwards, then hit the floor. His hand fell to the side, clutching a nickel-plated .38. Dex took a step towards the man, saw the blood begin to form a circle where the knife penetrated his chest, then slowly make its way to the ground. Dex wiped the blood from the blade on the man's suit jacket and headed back to where his night had begun. It's a tough one. Oftentimes we end up getting into situations that are a little bit stickier than we anticipated they would be. In this particular case, a young man finds himself in a very sticky situation. He went for what he thought was going to be a simple exchange. He handed something over. He was going to get something in return, go about his business, meet up with his contacts. But unfortunately, it did not end that way. Sometimes life or death has a way of throwing a monkey wrench in the plans. Unfortunately, he did not anticipate that something like this was going to happen. However, he acted pretty quickly once he sensed that there was some kind of trouble brewing, and did what he thought was best to protect himself. Sometimes we do that. Unfortunately, we don't always come out on the successful side of things, but we should always anticipate or at least be flexible enough to think of potential opportunities that may arise within specific situations. So we may we should plan for contingencies. In this particular case, this story, by the way, titled Righting Wrongs, is one of those in which, unfortunately, some adjustments had to be made in the midst of this particular transaction. Again, they're not always the best, and we do what we can in order to try to rectify some of these situations. In this case, though, it's a gruesome ending, or at least that part of the story. We'll have to continue to read to try to find out exactly what happens to Dext, who Liz is, from whom he received the phone call, and whether it was a setup or not. So let's continue to read. Again, this story is Righting Wrongs from the book Words Held Together by Letters. Enjoy. Just finished a good meal. Watch Brooklyn go down to the Sixers. I hope you enjoyed that piece. Sun is blaring right now, but hopefully you enjoyed that piece, and you're looking forward to the next one. I'll definitely catch you on the next one. Should be coming out soon. Somebody's happy. Enjoy.